Alright boys, today is a very, very important day because we're fixing the biggest problem with my Z, and it's this wheel gap. So we're going to be lowering the Z today. I do have some Truhart coilovers. So as far as I know, we're just going to be doing the rears today, but if it ends up being super easy, then we'll probably do the fronts, but I really don't want to go lower on the fronts. So, but I do just want to make it, a tiny bit lower. I might have to raise it back up once it starts like snowing, depending on if I'm still driving this car during the winter or not. Alright, so we got the bag secured. I'm super excited to try these out. I've heard good things and bad things about Truhart, but I really didn't want to go lower. I just kind of have to get rid of that wheel gap because that's freaking hideous. Like, I feel like it just makes my wheels look so small because of how like high up I am. So I've never installed a coilover before, so I'll probably be watching YouTube tutorials on how to get it done. Them Tomei cold starts. I do have a rattle from my HRY pipe, which kind of sucks. So hopefully when we have the car lifted up today, I'll be able to fix that rattle as well. Alright, so I was thinking that you had to take apart the rear to get to the actual rear coilovers, and then I watched the tutorial and realized that you didn't have to. So we pretty much took apart all of this for no good reason. Alright, so this is that moment of truth right here. It's already kind of out, but I think this is the rear. I honestly don't know if they're different or not from the front or the rear, but it is a true coilover setup, so there isn't going to be any springs in the spring bucket, so that's going to be empty. So I'll probably have to get tow arms eventually. What the fuck is that?
It's alright. The real question is, do we be smart and put jack stands under or full send?
Do you want to die or do you not want to die?
I mean, I'm always down for a little bit of everything.
Alright, so I forgot the key to my Lux, so I have to go home and get that. But I do get to drive the G35. Alright, so this is the piece that I was missing. It's a splined lug key, so now we can actually take the wheels off and install the coils. Alright, so we have this side ready now to get the strut out and the spring. So we have I think we're supposed to compress it right there. I really didn't pay attention to the tutorial, so so we got the wheel off, and it should be pretty easy. I had my suspension, well, I had it lowered last year, so it should be not like rusted out or anything like that. It's not going to be 20 years since the last time we fucked with it, so let's see what happens. Alright, so we have the lowering spring out now. So this is the Tanabis that I installed about a year ago, so they held up pretty well. They are gonna go on his G as he runs away from the camera, so since that's a monster truck right now. But now I just have to figure out how to set those up, and then we will be good to install it. So it was actually super easy. We just had to use a breaker bar to loosen it, and then we used the impact to do the rest of the work. Alright, so so we already got the right coil in, and I could kind of just want to show you guys like the big reveal instead of showing it like one side at a time. So we're finishing up this side, and then we should be good. We almost died. The scissor jack failed, and like it actually bent, and then the car dropped. Luckily it didn't fall like on the brakes or anything like that because we had this jack underneath. So I gave you one. The other one's behind you. Did you lose the one I gave you?
Oh, what about it? I gotta put me on pressure.
Oh, it's over here.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Give it to me later.
Fuck off.
Dude, hopefully that's not going in the video. That's be demonetized.
So they're at max height right now, and I will tell you on the other side it's already lower than what it was. So these at max height really are low anyway. So That's why I bought the Truharts instead of the teen the street basis. And in the middle of the coilover install, Thailand bought a dog. So this is Shy. Shop dog? Alright, so this is how it's looking right now. So the front's the same because we haven't touched that yet. And I don't think I'm going to touch it until next year. But the rear is a lot better than what it was. I probably should have gotten some before and after pictures and videos. But we still have a lot of room to be able to adjust on the Tomei too. So it's like it's pretty close to the ground, but we can get closer. So yeah, I think we're gonna play around with it for a little bit more, install my springs on his G, and then we'll be straight. Alright boys, so I didn't record me slamming it because it was kind of like a spur of the moment decision. Like, it was just an impulse decision to be like, okay, yeah, let's just go ahead and slam it. So I didn't record it. But if you follow me on Instagram, then you've probably seen it already and you know how low it is. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you right here. So that's where the Z is sitting right now. It's seriously like 1 inch, if that, off of the ground. I almost just ate shit right there. Okay, but my Tomei on uneven ground, it's going to scrape, and then you see like sparks. So I think that's pretty cool, but like obviously it kind of sucks because I spent so much money on that exhaust. But I have had it lowered for quite a while now. Winter's coming up, so I'm actually going to go ahead and raise it up. There's a nice thing about coils is I can actually do that compared to the lowering springs that I used to have from Tanabe. So one thing I do need to do is maybe get like a 10mm spacer to get this a little bit more flush with the fender. But the front fitment is A1. As you can see, I'm really up there in the fender well, and so on full lock I actually rub when I'm making really hard turns. So I definitely need to fix that next spring when I actually get around to lowering it again. But yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and do a quick walk around.